Hi, today is Wednesday. I did a intro to the video yesterday, but clumsily I was taking photos instead of video, so I have to do the intro again today. Yesterday I was heading out for a track session, a fairly simple one. I'll try and put the details up here of the session. Pyramid session, 200s up to 800s. The 800 fairly fast, because now that I'm aiming for the time trials, in particular the 5k time trial coming up, I want to get a slightly longer efforts at faster than 5k race pace. So not something I'd normally do, because normally I'm training for longer races, so a half marathon or a half Ironman, and in those cases the threshold efforts, they're faster than race pace, so I would normally do 1, 2, even 3k efforts at those paces. But faster races, just had to adjust the training a bit. I'll now switch back to yesterday's footage so you can see how that track session went. Last time I did a track session here, I ran to the track and used that as part of my warm-up, but with the racing flats running on the concrete paths, I could actually feel that hard surface sort of harming my legs. So today, just got a normal pair of runners, going to walk there and then change into my racing flats once I get to the track. Well, that's a bummer. They're mowing the athletics track. What's worse is all the lines have gone. There is no athletics track here anymore. He's mowed it all up. So the lines used to be faint, but now they're non-existent. Looks like I'm going to have to work out a different session. Bummer. Thought I'd show you a satellite image of what the track used to look like. I can use a loop out the back. There's a suburban roads, there's a little loop there. It's about 1k. Not many cars. I've used it for my threshold intervals, it's quite good. I'll have to go home, work out a new session. Also need different shoes, can't do the road running on my racing flats. And yeah, adjustability, adaptability. It's probably the key word during this coronavirus pandemic. So as you can tell, yesterday didn't go quite according to plan, but I did get out again after lunch, so I'll put up the session here. It was 3 1k efforts and 3 400 meter efforts at faster than race pace, so it was still a good session, good day's training. It's a really nice athletics track at Ballon Park in Frankston. Unfortunately, that's just outside the 5-kilometre range that I'm allowed to travel in specifically for exercise. And with my local athletics track now non-existent, it makes it harder to do those track sessions. And on top of that, with the 60-minute limit at the moment for training, I can't do any long runs because I don't have a treadmill, so the longest run I can do is an hour, which isn't really enough. So what I've decided to do is to push all my training back 4 weeks. All the time trials that I had scheduled are now going to be 4 weeks further back. So I should be out of lockdown 4 before my first time trial. That'll give me a chance to do those practice track sessions beforehand, and it'll also enable me to get in a couple of long runs before that first 5k time trial. So I think it was scheduled to be about 2.5 weeks away, so now that'll be 6.5 weeks away. The reason it's 4 weeks is that I work on a 4-week cycle. So I have 3 weeks of quality sessions, or 3 weeks with quality sessions, followed by 1 week recovery. That's a cycle, and then I go back and repeat another cycle. So if you missed my last video, you've probably worked out that my new target is time trials. So 4 time trials, first 2 being 5k, the last 2 being 10k, with the goal to get a good 10k time. With me pushing the time trials back, that means the the last time trial will be on the 3rd of January next year. That makes it about a 9-month training plan. So 14.5 weeks base training where I just built up the miles. I'm currently in the early quality at the moment. That'll go for 8 weeks before 8 weeks of true quality. Hopefully that'll time with the lockdown ending so I can get in a lot of hill repeats and a lot of work on the athletics track. And then the final 8 weeks where it's just really targeted towards that 10k time trial. So very event goal orientated in that last 8 weeks. 9 months for me, that's about as long as I can sustain on a program. I get bored after that. Also, I can only peak for a certain amount of time. I can't hold form for very long. So after that, I'll probably have a break and then start a whole new program. And by then, should know what's happening with the coronavirus, hopefully, and be able to target some races mid to late next year. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. See ya.